Let's see Paul Allen's card.
It is my honor to give the third award for film and television production, which is documentary filmmaking. And the winner with her film on violence in children's television is Monica Lynch's.
Films and television programming that inspire, educate, and exemplify the extraordinary power of the human spirit are being eclipsed by a fascination with the dark side of humanity. This insidious trend is seeping its way into the unsuspecting world of children's cartoons.
Nothing is wrong with your television. Do not attempt to change the channel. Your regularly scheduled program will not be seen because I am controlling the transmission. I control the horizontal. I control the vertical. And those buttons on your remote that don't seem to do anything? I know what they're for. From this moment on, your television belongs to me. Control freak. Guys?
In 1982, the Federal Communication Commission deregulated commercial children's television. Within only 4 short years, the airtime for war cartoons skyrocketed 2,700% from 1.5 hours per week to 43 hours per week. And in 1984, there were an average of 18 violent acts per hour. By 1994, the average had jumped 42% to 26 violent acts per hour.
Over the years, children's programming has always had a level of violence, from Wile E. Coyote having the anvil dropped on his head back in the early days of cartoons. In this children's study that was in 2005, we found almost 3,500 instances of violence in fewer than 450 hours of programming during a 3-week span. An alarming amount of violence occurring constantly in almost every program we saw.
It's very hard to raise a child in the world today without having any exposure to the media and television. So if they're being fed information that is highly violent, they're more likely to think and act in ways that are in accordance with what they're viewing.
At the Congressional Public Health Summit in 2000, 6 prominent medical groups all agreed that repeated exposure to media violence on television has a negative impact on children.
What happens inside a child when they're watching highly violent content is a progression. With a very young child, their first response would be fear, because they cannot separate what they're seeing from reality. So they would be afraid of what they're seeing. After a while, after they're told, oh, it's just a movie, oh, it's just a cartoon, oh, it's just play, it's not real, and they're told that over and over again, then the next level becomes a desensitization from their own affective part. So they stop feeling the fear, and they start disconnecting from the emotion that they would feel, which would be fear and recoiling from that danger or that action. The next level that they go to, and this escalates, is that they start to enjoy it. They start to enjoy what they see, and as they enjoy it, they start to take sides, they start to root for one side or another. They have somebody who wants to win and somebody who wants to lose. And the next level beyond that is that they start to actually integrate within themselves the feelings of aggression and wanting to act out, not just view, but act out those feelings of violence and aggression that they see, because they then want to be the victor, the conqueror, the winner. And the more they see that problems are solved with violence and acting out and dominating the opposer, they start to imagine that they don't want to be a loser, and if they want to be a winner, they have to incorporate these violent behaviors, because if they want to win, that's how they're going to do it. And what you end up with is the combustion called violence in the schools.
By the time the average U.S. child starts elementary school, he or she will have seen over 8,000 murders and 100,000 acts of violence on television. And by the time a child is 18 years old, he or she will have witnessed on television 200,000 acts of violence, including 40,000 murders.
Television is a powerful tool. It's more powerful than we even know. Be careful what they're watching. Be concerned, be interested, because whatever they're seeing and whatever they're hearing is going right in, with no filter, to that little sponge who sits there, and that will imprint their life for the rest of their lives.
Monica's spent nearly 60 hours editing that alone. It takes a while to do this stuff. Next, we're going to hear from Jim Kiggins of the Serious Game Design Institute, who will have over 15 acts of violence in his presentation alone.
The Serious Game Design Institute at Santa Barbara City College is a grant-funded project of the Economic and Workforce Development Program of the California Community Colleges. The SGDI is charged with producing massively multiplayer workplace training games to serve California's growing game industry. Production was launched in July of '07, and training activities began in February of '08, both on SGDI's Second Life Island and through the Virtuals created online multiplayer. SGDI Productions provides real-world experience for SBCC School of Media Arts game design students. And the SGDI also provides the Multimedia Entertainment Initiative with online training for California's community college faculty who are interested in game industry curriculum development.
Hi, I'm Jim Kiggins, the director of the Serious Game Design Institute here at Santa Barbara City College. Serious game design is the use of video games or video game technologies for purposes other than entertainment. Examples would be games for training and education, simulations, marketing, healthcare, persuasion, and policy change. The Serious Game Design Institute here at Santa Barbara City College was launched here this year with an $800,000 grant opportunity to create virtual workplace training games. Over the last year, 13 students from the SOMA have been working in a game internship team. They've had the opportunity to work with professionals from across the globe in working on a multiplayer online virtual workplace training game. And they also produced Second Life Island. The image on the screen is a sunrise photo of our Second Life Island for the Santa Barbara City College. So the 13 team members are Carl Eklund, Christopher Emerson, Ty Hegner, Ted Lister, Yuki Matsusoka, Greg Miller, Jonathan Soto, Bethany Clement, Andre Fuentes, Jonathan Gall, Tim Grunt, Holly Roth, and Marshall Tague. So I'd like to congratulate them for their effort and hard work for the year.